We're here at the Band Cave Studios, one of the best sounding drum rooms in Denver, and we're getting ready to get started on the last day of drum tracking for the new Cattle Decapitation record. So let's go check it out. All right, let's take a look before anyone else shows up. Right around the corner. What a beauty. All right, here we are behind McGraw's kit, and it's not small. We got 5 toms, 3 rack toms, 2 floor toms, 2 bass drums, snare drum, plethora of cymbals, as you can see. 2 chinas, 3 crashes, a stack, a ride, and hats. So let's start with the snare. On snare, we have a modded 57 that's been one of my favorites on snare as of late. I got this from Zen Pro Audio. It has the Tab Funkenworks transformer upgrade. I believe that's what it is. It sounds pretty similar to a standard 57, but with maybe a little more body. It enables you to get a little more fullness out of a snare drum, specifically a higher tuned snare like this. On the bottom head, I have a Bear Dynamic M201, which I've had for a while and I'm still sort of experimenting with to see where I like it, but it does sound really great on snare bottom. All the toms are mic'd with 421s with the low slope opened up all the way, so it's letting the most amount of low end through. I do sometimes clamp those down a bit depending on the room. I find it can help get a little more snap out of a drum, but with McGraw, there's no need for more snap because he hits like a beast. So open those all the way up, all the way across. I have a pretty good amount of spot miking going on for cymbals. With fast technical stuff like this, I want to feel like every cymbal is just up front as the rest of them. And you want some room around the kit for sure, but they should be extremely kind of in your face each hit. My main overhead pair are Neumann KM184s, and I have those positioned just above his left and right main crash. I also have a wider pair of overheads positioned over his left and right chinas. Those are the Octava MK012s, I believe. On ride and hi-hat, I have the Shure SM81s, which I really dig. I used to use them as overheads, and they did a great job there as well. But they really have an incredibly smooth, very upper end of the frequency range, like 10K and above sounds really great. And that's often what I'm looking to get out of my close mics for hi-hat and ride. It's just a bit of that very tippy-top ping. We don't have any kick mics on this album. Dave practices and performs with triggers, so that's what he's used to, so that's what we're tracking with. We have his trigger brain actually set up with his rolling triggers that are feeding back through the system and into his headphones for his comfort. And I also have a set of D-drum triggers that I'm recording independently. That's why there's 2 sets of triggers on each kick drum. One is running his system that he's used to hearing, and then one is for my backup. I also have a pair of Cascade Fatheads and a Bloom line setup that's about 10 feet in front of the drums. Those are the only room mics. And in this particular room, I find the Bloom line gives me the best overall vibe, blends with the close mics the best, retains phase coherency, and gives me a wide enough of a stereo image, but still sounds natural and just blends in seamlessly with the close mics, which is really great. As far as drum heads, we're going with what seems to be my standard setup. Clear Emperors on batter heads for all the toms, and Clear Ambassadors for resonant heads. They're super punchy, give you really nice controlled sustain, pretty easy to tune, last a long time, and generally sound the most balanced out of any of the manufacturers in my opinion. On snare, we're rocking a Remo coded control sound, which again is something that McGraw's used forever and just works perfectly with this playing style. You can tune it up really tight so you get good bounce and articulation, but it still retains a good amount of weight to it. It's not too dead, but it's controlled just the right amount where it's not ringing off the hook. Really happy with the head selection. Overall, the kit sounds great. All the drums are really punchy and clear. The stereo spread sounds awesome in this nice big room. There's not a lot of cross bleed from hat to ride because there's just so much room for it to dissipate on its own side of the room before bouncing off a wall and feeding back into the other mics. So I really like the stereo separation I get. McGraw is just playing like an absolute madman. Some of the speed and clean fills and just precision drumming on this album is really going to put all the other Cattle albums to shame. Really stoked to get this one done. Have you guys hear it? The songs are incredible, tones are awesome, and we're really just getting started, so much more to come. That's about it for the miking setup. Let's jump in the control room and kind of show you what we have running in there as far as preamps and the DAW setup that we're tracking with. All right, so here we are in the control room. The Band Cave has a fully equipped studio with plenty of gear, and I bring a bit of my own as well to supplement and for just comfort for what I'm used to working on. So talk through a bit of the preamps we're using. All the shells are going through this Grace M801 preamp. That sounds great. Super clean, really awesome transient response. My two main overhead channels and my spot hi-hat and ride mic I'm running through this Universal Audio 4710D. I have all the channels all the way over on the tube side, so each channel has two signal pads, a transformer side and a tube side. And while I have them set pretty clean as far as I'm not pushing the input too hard on any of them, I do like the bit of top-end saturation and kind of smoothing over that I get using the tube circuitry on the overheads. And then lastly, I have got room mics. I've got my spot mics for China left and right, as well as triggers and stuff like that going through this Phoenix Audio DSR 8 version 2 that I brought from my place. Sounds great on room. It's kind of earthy. I'm running it pretty clean. I'm not driving anything too hard for this recording. Looking for just pure tones, really, not crazy massive saturation. Sounds great, and it's convenient because it has DB25 outputs. So bringing this thing and hooking it up to the Orion 32 Plus that lives here at the Band Cave is a breeze. I just reroute the inputs and then a single DB25 cable to the conversion inputs on the Orion. Good to go. As far as the DAW, I'm actually just running my i5 Surface Pro 6. It doesn't have tons of power, but it's more than enough to track with a couple of EQs and maybe some bus comps so we can get some vibe in the headphones. It's awesome and portable, and I can bring my own keyboard and my own mouse, and I have my shortcuts, and I'm super comfortable navigating the project. To me, that's a lot better than having to become accustomed to a machine that I don't use every day. And then I can easily hook up their monitor here in the background, secondary monitor, so I have plenty of screen real estate, and honestly works about as well as I could have imagined for a $700 tablet. Pretty crazy what's available technology-wise these days. So that's about it. That's our setup here at the Band Cave. Unfortunately, I can't play you anything quite yet, but hopefully we'll be able to share some snippets coming up soon, and you'll just have to trust me that tones are incredible, and Dave McGraw is absolutely crushing it on this album. Cattle fans and fans of heavy music in general will absolutely not be disappointed here. So if you're into this kind of thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we do plan on making a few more of these during the Cattle sessions if everything goes as planned. So keep an eye out for those, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Civilization